I must say good good morning to my wonderful people here. It's another wonderful day here in Manchester here, and I am here at the river bottom here. I'm in pretty much. I am in Watermouth. I'm going to show you what is taking place here at Watermouth here in Manchester here. There is a little river here, a stream here running from the river bottom area, going through to Scott Pass and going through the Raya Covey down through Milk River. It ends up down into the Milk River. Now, if you're wondering, Manchester here it doesn't have per se a Manchester here does have a lot of rivers, more so underground. And however, in Porus here, Porus have a lot of wells, and it's just to show you that the the water table here on the ground in Porus here, there's a lot of water here. Water from Porus is pumped all the way up to Mandeville here. And at one point, when I was much smaller, we have water springing up here in Watermouth and more so River Bottom. The name River Bottom comes. I'm not quite sure the name River Bottom gets how it gets its name, but however, it does seem as if that the name river and the river bottom comes with a water. We think about Spring Grove, that associated with water, river bottom associated with water, Watermouth does associated with water. Also, this water that we're looking on will end up in the Milk River. It will go, it's this one attributed to the Rayomina River. This also goes down to the Scots Pass River, and one will know and one will understand and one will know that the name that they give the river, the Scott Pass, is Spun the River or on the river, something close to that, I think. But there's another one there. The the Blue Hole also runs parallel to the main road. So I am just giving you just an idea of what is basically happening here in Watermouth. The stream here is running steadily. From I was much younger, the water came up on the Redberry Road that's on river bottom, and it came up so heavily it flooded many homes, and the street were filled with a lot of water. And I think at one point, I remember when I was talking to um, a person early on, and he was saying that the water came up in 1980s. But I remember it came up in 2000 also, and it really did some damage as there. If those who live in Porus will recall that they were mining someplace there where the house this the train personnel that were working on the train over quarters there, and then they dug up the road, and they were just pumping some water up to Mandeville, and then apparently it just came up and it just flooded the area. Another area there we could also look at is in in Harmons also, and Harmons was indeed filled with water. But I'm just gonna just move around and just show you um, an idea of what is taking place here also in Watermouth area. In Watermouth area here, there's just a clean stream here. There's just a clean stream here. The guys use it for bathing purpose. It is actually very clear and clean because it is springing right from under the rock here. So they have used this area for bathing and showering purpose. Is there. The land here you see is very, very green. It is very lush, beautiful here. And the sun is out in all its glory here. And also the crops that is beside it, the farmers use it as a way of watering their crops. The bridge, the water runs under the bridge here, and it goes all the way through to Scotts Pass into Rio Minho. Then it ends up all the way into the Milk River Ocean. And just bearing with the fact that if there was no road here for the water to actually pass over and go through, you can just imagine the amount of water that will settle here and flood the area. Once again, I want to welcome you as Peter Palmers here for being on my page here, and it's just a wonderful feeling to know that someone is always on my page here. I want to welcome you also, the person who is on my YouTube channel at the moment. I am just featuring just a little stream that has popped up over the years here in Manchester, more so in River Bottom. It is basically started further up, and we call that beach Gentles Beach. Persons may know that particular beach. That's where the water actually start to spring up, and they call it Gentles Beach. And in recent times, the area would be flooded on Sundays just to get a glimpse of the beach. Why? Because we don't really have much beach here in Manchester, as in rivers of such in Manchester that is broad enough, but we have some little stream here in Manchester. The town Porus is just discovered, or was actually discovered by James Philippo. He was a Baptist minister, presumably, from what statistic I've said, from what I've read. And Porus was given its name from the Porras brothers. They fought against Christopher Columbus and his tyranny. And Christopher Columbus had was very, very rough in certain things, and they didn't like some of the things that Christopher Columbus was doing. So what they do, the group of brothers, the Porras brothers, they fought against his ways, and they were adamant that they were not going to do it. So they fled the scene and go up into the mountains. And while they were up in the mountains, they saw a valley way down and they came back down to settle here in Porus. So Porus gets its name from the Porus brothers. Nevertheless, we know that Porus is well populated with wells, and I have said before, it is about 5 to 6 wells in Porus, and quite presumably, a lot of persons don't know that Porus supplies Mandeville with water. Yes, it does supply Mandeville with water, and because Mandeville is on a hill. Mandeville is supposed to be presumably 2,000 feet above 2,000 feet above sea level up there in Mandeville. Porus here is on a plain, is on a flat, so the water that is coming from off the hill will run right through Porus. And if you realize how the water runs in Porus, as soon as the rain fell very heavily and the area is flooded, in a matter of short time the water dissipated. It just subsided very, very fast. So just to show you that the water level here is high, and it just dissipates very, very fast in terms of the bulk amount of water. So however, I'm just giving you just a quick synopsis of the little river here, a stream, I'll call it a little stream here in Watermouth, and of course streaming to you on my Facebook page and on my YouTube channel is Denzel, sponsored by Denzel 101 Let's Talk, and brought to you by the beautiful sunshine that brightens your day, and sponsored by Grace, God's unmerited favor. Once again, I want to thank you for staying with me, and pleasant viewing, and goodbye.